course, hello guys, it's me Gaming Star here, and today I am back with another episode of Phoenix Wright Ace Attorney, Trials and Tribulations. Last time we basically started off Recipe for Turnabout. We did investigation, first day investigation, and yeah, that's pretty much all we did. This time we're going to go ahead and start the trial. Oh, I see. I guess I should have expected this. Nobody saw the other guy, huh? But he was there when I took the coffee over, sir. Scout's honor. Maggie! Ah! Detective Gumshoe! Are you doing alright? How are you feeling? As if you need to ask either question, sir. Don't let him get him down. Get you down, Maggie. And don't forget to eat well, okay? Roger! And you! Yes? You better square this case away. Got it, pal? Maggie didn't send you here. If you screw up, then I'll be doing some squaring away myself. Squaring away for some paperwork for your arrest. I think he's serious. Hey, detective, you're on our side for once, sir. Yep. So you'll be able to help Maggie out, right? Really? Can you, sir? Of course. I've got the situation under control. I'm gonna be the first witness on the stand today. If something I say doesn't match with the facts, make sure you point it out, alright? Sure. Okay, we're forming a united front today, pal. You get me? I can't tell you how grateful I am, sir. I've always admired you so much, detective. I know I can count on you. Looks like it should all go pretty smoothly today, huh? I can only wish. Alright, let's go. Start the trial, shall we? Court is now set for the trial of Maggie Bride. The defense is ready, Your Honor. God damn it. Bitter. But Mr. Wright? Yes, Your Honor. Ah! What's wrong? Nothing. It's just whenever I addressed you in the previous trial, your response was, "You stuck in the meat!" It was a little, well, intimidating. No. That wasn't me. That was the phony Phoenix. I see. So our trusty Phoenix Wright is back with us now, is he? We're trusty. So, Mr. Gada, your opening statement, please. Mr. Trite, whether you were fake or the real deal, we'll find out soon enough through this trial today. But I can already tell you, I'm the real Phoenix Wright. I wasn't questioning whether you are Phoenix Wright or not. I was questioning whether you had to study the law or not. That's what I intend to find out. There's no denying it. Behind that mask is a man who really hates me for some reason or another. I'll find out soon enough. As everyone is aware, the court has already given its verdict in case once. Therefore, I won't stand for development testimony during the trial, nor will I stand for simple repetition of evidence represented in the last trial. I'm not planning on repeating anything that phony me said, trust me. Now then, Mr. Gado, please summon your first witness. We'll start with the formalities, shall we? Name and occupation. Wait today! State your name for the court! Huh? Oh, sorry, sir. The name's Police Department Detective. Occupation, Dick Gumshoe. Other way around, detective. Huh? Oh, sorry. Anyway, I'm the officer in charge of this case since yesterday, sir. Since yesterday? Yeah, the guy who was in the initial investigation is tied up with another case now. I hope Gumshoe's really got everything under control for everyone's sake. I see. So, Detective Gumshoe, would you outline for the court the basic facts of the case? Yes, sir. The victim's name was Glenn Elg, and he was a professional programmer. He was one of the payroll Blue Screens Inc., a local company. This is the victim's autopsy report. The court accepts this into evidence. Died of potassium cyanide poisoning. Time of death was between 1:30 and 2:30 p.m. And here's the floor plans for the restaurant. When the incident took place, the victim was sitting right here. Man, that's a very small restaurant. What the fuck? The poisoned coffee was brought over in by the waitress. The waitress being the accused. Yeah. The victim died from poisoning almost immediately after he took a sip of the coffee. At the time of the incident, there were 2 other people in the restaurant. Mr. Gene Armstrong, the owner and chef, and a regular by the name of Mr. Victor Kudo. Okay. It still seems to be a very straightforward case to me. Excellent victim seat. Alright. Come on, detective. Take up this hammer and nail the defendant's coffin shut with your own 2 hands. Now, Detective Gumshoe, let's give testimony. Yes, sir. Hey, Kuka. My dog's here with me now, so he's here. When the incident took place, the victim was alone on his table, sir. We understand that the guy, Glenn Elg, was listening to the radio at the time. Traces of poison were found in his coffee cup. And what we found was potassium cyanide. That stuff really packs a punch. And it looks like Miss Bride might have had, well, some kind of motive. Using the dark, aromatic depths of coffee to conceal the poison. Classy lady. The facts of this case seem to be ironclad. Mr. Wright, I would ask to begin cross-examination, but yes, please no intimidating tricks this time around. Is that understood? I already told you that wasn't me! Okay, here we go. Let's go. Alrighty. Immediately, press. That was quick. Could I stop you for just a minute? Huh? What? Did I say something that contradicts the evidence? He's so desperate for it to be true that he's practically crying. Your testimony just now doesn't match the testimony given by Miss Bride. She claims that there was another man at the victim's table. Yeah, that's what she said. And the killer wouldn't say that when faced with homicide conviction. Hey! Sadly, her testimony is supported by the owner or the other customer. Isn't that right, Detective Gumshoe? Yeah, it's true. Their two testimonies tab on that. They both said there was no other guy on the table. What should I do? Should I press? Press harder. Well, maybe the other witness just messed him. Perhaps their view of the victim's table was obscure in some way. Ha! The argument is as weak as the coffee and as the lesbian's trite. I have here in my possession a ticket. A ticket? Looks more like a photo to me. Yes, a one-way ticket to Guiltyville, population. The defendant. This is a photograph taken from near the entrance of the kitchen. This is seen as witnessed by the chef moments after poisoning took place, correct? I think the court will agree that such clear view of the scene of the crime. How, Mr. Trite? How could everyone overlook the second person at the table? Oh, my boys are with me! My kiddos! It certainly seems to show the victim's table extremely clearly. Time, photo. Alright. Dos. Tres. Hold it, baby! So traces of poison were found in the coffee cup and nowhere else. Not sure I get you, pal. Was the poison a liquid or was it powder? I had to put it in layman's terms. I'd say it was a powdery substance. So the poison could have been anything that was on the table. Sugar, salt, pepper. Ha! Do you put salt and pepper in your coffee, Trite? It's kind of gross though. I don't drink coffee myself, but yeah, you know. The victim took his coffee black with no sugar. Yeah. It seems that the poison could have only been in the coffee. What should I do? Should I press harder? If you're absolutely certain that the victim even drank any of this coffee. Huh? What do you mean? According to this file, the poison was found in the victim's coffee cup. But the proof is that the victim even drank any of it. Oh, hey, you're right. That's what I was In the case you were wondering, the last objection was the detective there. Huh? For me? Oh, hey, you're right. You may be fooling the court, but I'm not falling for it. If you have the time to waste, you have the time to present the piece of evidence. That piece, sir? Yes, that piece. What piece was it again? God damn it, Gumshoe. I love you, man. God damn it, bro. This! Should I be grateful this coffee's only hot enough to give me 1 degree burns? Oh, now I remember. This is the victim's coffee cup. And you can see the lip mark. Yes, the victim's cup. Take a good look at it. Ah, yes, it's unmistakable. There's clearly coffee stain on it. Conclusive proof that the victim did drink the poisoned coffee cup that was in his cup. That victim gulped down the bitter death that the waitress brought to him. And like this! Now, you really love your coffee. For the record, only a café for the person of the cup were the victims and the defendants. Upon further investigation of this cup, we found a certain chemical substance. Uno, dos, tres, cuatro, cinco. Press. Some kind of motive. Yeah, but if you ask me, it's been blown away out of the proportion. You know what my golden rule is, detective? Chuck out a bad cup of coffee, you can always get another. Huh? I don't get it. Bro, I don't know. Wait, I don't even know. I'm saying we can always get another witness to the stand if we have to chuck you out. So stick to the facts, detective. Now then, what was Miss Bride's motive? Come on, she was... They said she wanted to steal a lottery ticket. I knew it. That's what he heard yet to see too. Disappear from the scene of the crime. And it wasn't just any lottery ticket. It was winning a ticket for $500,000. Mr. Armstrong knew about the ticket too, didn't he? But he stole the wrong one. Then it's possible Maggie stole the winning one? What should I do? Should I press on it a little harder or not? Press harder, baby. Press harder like the... I don't even know. I don't want to make it. Wait a minute. The mere fact that the lottery tickets appeared in no way implies my client. Huh. I have here in my hands the very ticket in question. That's the $500,000 ticket? One of the female police officers found it when she was conducting a search of the defendant. What? Odd! Ha, she's quite a lucky bird, our little waitress. You will submit that ticket as evidence to the court immediately! Better keep an eye on that ticket. The way the judge's voice is quivering. A winning ticket for $500,000 found during the body search for Maggie. This ticket was presented in the court in a previous trial too, but it feels heavier now somehow. $500,000, you say? It's just a scrap of paper. What matters is where you found was, Your Honor. And that's on Maggie's person, unfortunately. That's enough. The facts of this case seem overwhelmingly clear to me. The defendant had ample opportunity to commit the crime she was charged. Furthermore, it seems beyond reasonable doubt that she did even commit this crime scene. I like an old man who knows the score. There's also the matter of the $500,000 lottery ticket. That alone provides a very credible motive. I mean, for that sum of money, even I might be tempted to bend the rules. I don't mind an old man who is weak and siren call of money. Not good, Nick. The evidence against Maggie's starting to pile up fast. Yes, because the court has already ruled guilty once. I'd say it's about time to wrap this repeat performance with one final decisive piece of evidence. Who's got more evidence against Maggie? This is apron so likely Miss Brad was wearing at the time. Wow, that's not even cleanest apron I've seen. That stain looks like it can't be blood, can it? Ha, seems the star of our play was a little flustered. And somehow spilled coffee on herself. The coffee? That's not exactly the first thing that caught my eye. Of course, the coffee stain isn't the most interesting thing about this apron. No, there's something else that stands out even more. Something else? I presume you mean... Of course, I'm referring to the pocket. The pockets! A search carried out right after the incident uncovered this. Potassium cyanide. The very poison used by the killer. It was an apron pocket. A bottle of poison in Maggie's pocket. Yeah, and Maggie's prints weren't all ones on it too. What?! Odd! This court will accept these items as evidence. Apron worn by Maggie at the time of the incident has a small pocket but big stains. One in the book is very familiar. Okay, so you notice how Gadot had how God. Fuck! I can't say the name without mentioning it. You notice how Gadot basically had like how he didn't notice the color, how he didn't notice the big red fucking stain. He didn't notice it and instead noticed the coffee stain. That's because he's colorblind to red. Not exactly 100% colorblind, but you know, like how some people are colorblind to certain colors, like certain shades of certain colors. He's blind to red, so that's why. So bother me, Mr. Gadot. Why haven't I explained the bloodstain to the court? He's colorblind on that. Bloodstain? What bloodstain would that be? That's it. Don't play games, prosecutor. That blood color stain that's smeared all over the apron? That's ridiculous. No one told me anything about a blood stain. He didn't notice it because he's colorblind. That's gonna be a very important feature for the final case. Ah, fuck. Sorry about that. But that's gonna be very important. That's gonna be very important for the final case. So keep that in mind for when we get to the final case. When we get into the bridge to Turnabout, which is the final case of the game or the final case of the trilogy. That's gonna be a very, very important detail that will add everything together. I'm sure this case is mostly filler, like every third case is, you know. But this case definitely does provide at least one piece that will be important for later, which pretty much the only time ever. Really, just kind of odd, but okay. You don't need to be told. Just look at it. Well, detective, could this stain really be blood? No way, sir. It's just ketchup, sir. Ketchup? She must have gotten some apron while taking some of the breakfast that day. You could have spoken up a little sooner, Detective gumshoe! Pull stunts like that again, you'll have a drink 17 cups of ketchup and witness. I thought everyone knew that was already. No. I've seen you to make me doubt the last ruling I made in this case. The motive, the opportunity, the supporting evidence, they have all been clearly established. God damn it, Judge. Well, trite. Seems you really are a phony after all. You really know how to drive a man nuts. Witness, please continue with your testimony. Describe for the court the crime scene and the findings of your investigation there. Here we go. The investigation. The crime was reported at 2:25 p.m. by a kind of scary old man, sir. Poor Maggie had passed out from the shock. It must have been real tough for her. The victim didn't have any identification on him, but we figured out who he was pretty quick, so that investigation went smoothly. When Maggie was searched, we found the lottery ticket and the bottle of poison. And that was it. There was nothing else missing from the crime scene. What about the CD? We identified the victim as secured your prime suspect. Very good. Last chance to convince the court you're a real lawyer, Trent. Don't count on any more cross-examinations after this one. So let the fun begin. Alright, let's go, baby. 1, 2, 3, 4. How did you figure out so quickly, though? Wait a sec. Huh? Did I say something dumb again? Let me paraphrase what you just testified to this court. The victim didn't have any form of ID on him. That's basically what you said, yes? Yeah, basically. In that case, how were you able to identify the victim so quickly? Oh. That. He's so let down. He's got the whole sagging shoulders, puppy eyes thing going on. There was a prescription bag on the victim's table along with the lottery ticket. It seems Mr. Glanville visited his doctor before he went to Dresbian. We got the victim's name on the medical records for the doc who prescribed the meds. That's a reliable enough source for the court. What should I do? Insurance. So what sort of medicine was in the bag? Well, actually, the bag was empty. Huh? Yeah, completely empty. That's odd. It was completely empty? Victim's prescription added to the core before going to the SB and the bag is empty. Huh. That's odd. You're entering an empty paper bag as evidence? Desperate, are you, Trent? Now, what happened with the investigation after that, detective? Okay. Alright, let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Wait a minute, what about the actual prescription itself? What about the actual prescription? Detective Gumshoe, I think I should point out something to you. There was just one small contradiction in your testimony. There we go. I'm laying down. Oh, finally. I'm getting all anxious just waiting, so hurry up, will you? You testified that nothing else was missing from the crime scene. However, the prescription bag you mentioned was empty. Did the officers recover the medicine from the scene of the crime later? No, they didn't. The victim was given a prescription right before going to Tres Bien. Where then did the medicine disappear to? Are you too cool, pal? Indeed! Due to consideration was given the victim's prescription in the previous trial. Witness, why do you always overlook such vital pieces of evidence? I guess that's the most careless thing I've ever done so far, huh? I've seen more. The victim was killed by poison, and the victim's medicine mysteriously disappeared. The victim's own prescription should have been the lethal poison itself. Why would he get his own poison? It's kind of weird, but okay. Like, listen, like, my parents are a little bit from the medical field. I know for a fact you don't give someone that potassium cyanide as medicine. I know for a fact you... everybody knows for a fact. My parents were both in the medical... Even my own sister's in the medical field. I know for a fact that you don't give... You literally don't give potassium cyanide to a patient. Unless you want them killed. Unless you want them killed, you don't give them cyanide as medicine. Who the fuck does that unironically? Well, Mr. Godo, what do you have to say about that? That's all. What? Read for the court the name of the clinic on the prescription bag, if you will. What's the clinic's name got to do with anything? Oh no. New Era Horticultural Clinic. Otolarnic. Fuck. Otolarnic. How do you say that? Just what kind of illness the victim suffering from, Mr. Gata? Hardly an illness, Your Honor. More like a bitter war wound, you could say. A war wound? The day before the incident, Mr. Elk found himself in a fight. He took a blow in the side of his head and ruptured his eardrum. He ruptured his eardrum. Then what on earth was the prescription he was given? It was a cream that was to be applied topically inside his ear canal, not to be ingested. What? It mentioned in the autopsy report, if you read the fine print, they found the traces of medication in the victim's left ear. Yes, here it is, in very, very fine print. It seems Mr. L correctly applied some of his medication while he was at the recipient. Therefore, it would be absurd to believe that he would have eaten this medication. It seems that this medication is irrelevant to the case after all. No. Nick, if you don't think of something quick, it will be all over. She's right, but I can't get any legal objection. Push a medication issue, or leave it. Push the medication issue. I take my own medications. I take medications. So I kind of know what it's like. I eat I drink them, though. Only moments ago, Mr. Gata followed the statement. It seems Mr. L correctly applied some of the medication while he was at the SBN. If that's the case, then why was the medication not found at the crime scene? I can't even say the fucking word if I'm messing it up. But the medication in question was the topical use inside the ear canal. That was... oh, God. I have had medications and, like, you know, pills. And, oh, boy. Like, I had a whole bunch. Mostly for my depression and stuff like that. And my... oh, God. But, like, in your ear canal? Damn! Like, I've never had medication like that. Never have I had medication like that, ever. Found at the crime scene. However, insignificant it may be seemed, the lawyer's duty to pursue the truth. You know as well as I do, the medications were relevant. It hardly seems like a prescription drug would contain potassium cyanide. It hardly seems likely that the coffee of the waitress served would contain it either. But it did. The possibility is undeniable. Ah! That's enough. Mr. Gata, is the detective only witness the prosecution wishes to call? Mr. Gata? Gato? I've got my own witness I'd like to call, sir. It's the old man who was there at the restaurant the day of the murder. Victor Kudo, the pigeon hater? Mario! Are you growling? What are you doing? Very well. The matter of the disappearing medication seems a little more than trivial at best. However, it wasn't explored at all in the previous trial. The best of it bothers me. Yay, good job, Nick. Mario, what were you barking at, my boy? Court be adjourned for 10-minute recess, after which we'll hear the prosecution's next hearing. I suppose this means I'll just finish off with my last 6 cups. Court is adjourned for recess. How many cups do you drink a fucking day, dude? Like, all day long. That's a coffee addiction that I've ever seen. Damn. Alright, here we go. Phew. That was close. Tell me about it. I nearly died in there. That's my line, sir. No, it's my line. I think I really did die a little bit. It looks like we all nearly died in there. I can't believe Detective Gumshoe. How could he betray us like that? Huh? He said he helped me. But he totally set me up. I don't think he meant to do that, Maggie. He was backed into a corner. I mean, that guy's got to do his job, right? It's okay. I know all that lies and betrayal I've been in my whole life. It really hurts this time. I feel like someone punched me hard in my stomach. I hate that guy. I don't ever want to see him again. Poor Gumshoe. So the next witness is going to be the old guy from the park, right? Yeah, Mr. Kudo. Lover of the waitress outfits and projectile seeds. I bet he's going to be really stubborn. I mean, he's pretty set in his ways, you know. Yeah, he's a big old grouch. Are you going to be able to handle him, Nick? Yeah, I can take whatever he throws at me, even those never-ending bird seeds. Alright, here we go. Court will now reconvene for the trial of Maggie Bride. Mr. Gata, your next witness, please. The prosecution calls a lucky old-timer who caught the show over a cup of coffee. Will the witness please take the stand? You have the same birthmark as I do on my eyebrow. I have the same one. I just realized he has the same birthmark as me, because I actually have one on my eyebrow. This is why I don't pluck. If you don't know. The name is Victor Kudo, born and bred in the land of the rising sun. Honor and duty are what we make. Mind you, I can be quite emotional sometimes too. We don't need to hear about that, Mr. Kudo. Just tell the court your occupation. My occupation? Listen, youngin'. You might go and think they're for kimono and brody here. Kimono and brody. That's what I do or did back in Japan. The embroidery family crest on kimonos. My ancestors were embroidered kimonos before this country even existed. My ancestors were basically poor as fuck creating tobacco before the United States even fucking existed. Wow, real craftsmen. They're a dying breed. Hey, maybe he can be buying my costume sometime. Anyway, like I said, there's not much demand to kind of here. So I had to take a job working the cash register at a burger joint, pretending to smile. That burger joint would have been better off putting him in the kitchen. Not a witness. Were you in the restaurant at the time of the incident? Oh, yes, I was eating some So you saw everything that happened, Groups. Did I? Oh, yes! Oh, yes, I did. I saw it all. Then please tell the court. We're all yours. Sure. I'll tell you every last detail. He's really getting into this. Oh boy. Okay, baby. Got an email about the job thing, but I'll do that later. After doing this. The young man was reading sports paper. How to do my this. The service girl brought him a Javachino, but she put something in it. The man took us one sip and looked like he was about terrible pain and then collapsed. That's the serving girl. Right there in the defendant's chair. I remember her well. Mr. Kudo, she is not a serving girl. Please refer her to as a waitress. God, you're as bad as the rest of them. These newfangled words, those old-fashioned ones, Newfangled? To be fair. All this talk of radios and glasses, it's wireless, it's spectacles, I tell ya. Excuse me? Listen to me, everyone! Don't forget the old vines! Don't let the good old days slip away! Well, time to think about cross-examination, Mr. Wright. Yes, Your Honor. Oh, it's raining outside. God damn, thank God it took you boys out before it rained. Oh my god. Alright, here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4. Serving. Pressy. You said I remember her well in reference to the waitress. Does she have any particular features that you can identify her by? Particular features is grace. That's what it is. Sorry. You can see all the way up to her. Yeah, no. Practically naked in a uniform. It's not that bad. I mean, I went to Hooters. I went to fucking Hooters. If you guys are living in the States, you know about Hooters, right? Because, oh god. But anyone could wear such a uniform. Even me! Mr. Wright, please spare the court of any further mental anguish from that image. No. Don't get all excited, Nick. You've got to keep yourself together. I guess I got a bit carried away. God, there are other things to recognize about her, too. Seems pretty sure about himself. Should I do? Press harder, baby. Sure saw the waitress and took the coffee over to the victim. But what matters is whether or not the waitress was Maggie Bryan or not. Quite right. Mr. Kudo, these other features that you recognize about the defendant. Would I ask you to add the testimony? Sure. There was a ribbon in her hair and her apron straps were loose. Press. Do you seem to remember several details about her appearance? But what about the most crucial detail of all? Her face. God, if I would remember that! What was it? The witness noticed the straps of the accused's aprons. She was unlikely to make a mistake after her face. That's right, I can't even tell you the color of the ribbon in her hair was red. So you see, there's nothing wrong with the witness's eyesight. So that one went pretty well. What should I do? Ask about the waitress's back. Identifying features described are all things you can see from the back. So what? It's possible that you never saw the waitress from the front at all? Huh. Who's got you there, Gramps? People normally talk about facial features when they're asked to describe someone. But this witness testimony is nothing but straps and ribbons! This is harassment! I tell you, I'm not obsessed with straps and ribbons. I'm just telling you what I saw. Yeah, you're Mr. Kudo, the court requests that you add details about any identifying features. Features that you observe from the front, that is, to your testimony. Sure. Oh, my testimony's getting longer and longer. And if I can find a hole soon, it'll be even longer, I bet. There wasn't aware anything I caught my interest about her when I saw her from the front. Apron! Mr. Kudo, I would like you to please take a look at this. God, a filthy fang with filth just like you was perfectly. Actually, reminds me of what my grandson looks like, just after he's done eating. Have you ever seen this before? Of course I haven't. Do you think I forgot something dirty as that? Well, you fat-witted clout! What? What is it? Ever since I said you have witted cloud, there's been an eerie silence in here. Mr. Kudo, this apron. It's the apron worn by the defendant on the day of the poisoning. And as you said yourself, you wouldn't forget something like this. Which means, if you had really seen this apron before... Yes, you know what I'm getting at. You couldn't have possibly seen the witches on the front! Oops. What's this? You just can't oops your way out of this? Huh. Well, well. Looks like we finally have a genuine trial from our hands. Listen, Trite, here is the facts. On the day of the incident, there was only one waitress in the restaurant. That being the defendant, Miss Maggie Bride. Exactly. And when the one waitress put the poison in the coffee cup, this old guy was watching. I hope you understand the gravity of the situation, Mr. Kudo. It's fate of the defendant may rest as well, you may remember seeing. Just tell the court exactly what you saw, Gramps. You can rely on me, Captain. My noggin is perfectly working order. No dementia. I can remember a single occasion when I forgot what a burger a customer wanted. He can't remember, probably more like he messed up on so many times he's blocking it out. Very well, let's test your good memory and attention art to detail, Mr. Kudo, because you're 68. Tell us what you remember about the victim. Alright, here we go. About the victim. 21-2, contradiction. He was another of those pesky young types wearing a broken pair of spectacles. He had a newspaper in his right hand and a noisy brat kept rustling his pages. The young man was listening to the wireless. I remember that well. And then the serving girl in question brought over the Giovacchino. This little fidget picked up the cup with his free hand and took a sip. The testimony we'd have just heard is how credible the witness' memory is. He seems to be able to remember the victim in great detail. Oh yes, I hate those you-know-what types who are so vague about everything. How are you going to handle this, Nick? We only need to do one thing. We just need to prove the old man's memory is shot. Just trip him up, you mean? Isn't that kind of cool? I suppose, but it's what I do best. Oh god. Alright, here we go. Present the coffee cup in the fifth statement. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Coffee! Café is aquí, Jody. Café. ¿Quieres café? Mr. Kudo, you remember when you were told to start a testimony? That is a way of testing the credibility of your memory. I know. There's nothing wrong with my memory. I tell you, nothing. If you got anything wrong, I'll eat those seeds and sing the pigeon song. What? Care to tell us where this is going, Trent? According to Mr. Kudo, the victim was holding the paper in his right hand, while he's drinking coffee with his free hand, which could have made his left. God, what is this? Kindergarten? But I would like the court to please take a look at this. That's the cup the victim used, correct? Yes, and you'll notice the mark left by the victim's lips. Yep, there is a stain left by the coffee. If you consider where that stain is, you'll clearly see that the victim was holding the cup to his right hand! But how? Well, Mr. Kudo, the court is waiting for your epic performance. You said you'll eat those seeds and sing the pigeon song! Ah! Mr. Kudo, I'm afraid this is simply not acceptable. I think the witness... Wait! If you think I'm going to stand here and listen to you tell me I'm mad, you're wrong. I don't care about the dirty coffee cup. I know what I saw. You still insist on your testimony? That young Brown was holding the cup in his left hand. Oh, yes, no question. I'm good at law-abiding citizen, I am. Dear young... Who you, specky hair? Yahoo! Oh, fuck. Who, me? Thank you, old man. We've heard quite enough from you already. Don't call me old man! Been around for 68 years, I have. You can't ignore me. Listen to what I've got to say! I am sorry, Mr. Kudo, but sure. Why not hear a little more? Mr. Gata? But this is my 16th cup of coffee. This is your final stand. Thank you, Captain. You can rely on Victor. Alright, here we go. Let's go. The boy was wearing an earpiece the same size as the green lens of his specs. He kept fiddling with it all the time. He was fiddling with it just before he picked up the cup, too. And then he used the same hand to pick up the cup. His left hand! I don't think he knows his left to right direction. Just like my mom doesn't know left to right. I think he doesn't know left to right, just like my mom doesn't know left to right. We know the victim, just like how I didn't know for a while, but then I realized it. Everyone else. We know the victim was wearing an unusual monocle over his left eye. It wasn't a monocle, Your Honor. It was a small computer monitor often used by programmers. That's futuristic as fuck. A monitor, you mean like a television screen? The inside of the lens is a screen that displays computer data. It's called HMD. It's a common tool for victims on HTV, DVD, CD, all these newfangled letters drive me mad, but they don't matter. You know what? I'm telling the truth. It's true. He doesn't seem to be lying. And those are the facts of good old black and white. Just because you have black and white, I think this is anything good. I've seen it happen. Alright, here we go. Mario. Mario's eyes. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4. Any statement. Glenn Ilg's profile. Let's go with his profile. The victim was a programmer where an HMD over left eardrum was ruptured. Objection, baby! Any statement. I'm not sure what the relevance of this is, but... Mr. Kuda, there's something very strange about your observations of the victim. What? You say he was wearing the earpiece on the same side as HMD. No question, you can look at me if I'm wrong with his left ear without a doubt. If I could hear with the side of his head where I was sitting. I don't think so. What did you say? You're no doubt aware of the facts, Mr. Kudo, that the victim couldn't hear with his left ear. His eardrum was ruptured! Traces of medication for his condition were found in his ear canal. That must... Oh, God. That's right. It's possible the victim was wearing his earpiece in the left ear. Because he wouldn't even hear in that ear! Is that true, Captain? It is. Pigeon! Pretty pigeon! Oh God! The witness testimony was completely unreliable. He only saw the waitress from behind. And if he claims the victim was wearing an earpiece when he knows his eardrum was ruptured. Well, Mr. Gada? A single drop of milk is all it takes. Show the pure black magic in the cup. This old man is my drop of milk. I think I need water. Captain, he called me a drip! Oh. This is the victim's coffee cup in which the potassium cyanide was found. The mark of the rim clearly shows the victim picked it up with his right hand. It'll never back down, I know I'm right. The lad drank and shoved the shield with his left hand. Let me put you out of your misery. Clearly the victim used both hands. He took a sip with the cup, held his right hand, and the switch is left. That's what the old man saw! Impossible. The witness has already testified on numerous occasions that the victim died immediately after taking just one sip of the coffee. Which hand the victim used to pick up his cup is irrelevant, Your Honor. You used the coffee with your right hand, but still stand with one hand on the other, Mr. Drink the position to place the coffee. Like this! Sadly, Mr. Gada doesn't wash. The point of this testimony was established whether the witness memory is credible. And the results are clear. The testimony given to the witness is useless! I need water though. I'm like, literally, my throat's like fucking dry. I believe it is time to conclude today's proceedings. I'm satisfied that the witness is not deceiving the court. But to be frank, this testimony is farce. Did you have to be so frank? Take that, you pompous old foggy! I'm sorry, Mr. Kudo. You can't reach from there. Ordering the defense and prosecution investigate the case further. That is all for the court's adjourned. Yeah. Wait! If we stop now, where does that leave me? Leave you, Mr. Kudo? Fixing that blue-suited young upstart over there. I'm just a bumbling old man who can't even his T's or across his I's now. How is your bad memory my fault? I'm sorry, Mr. Kudo, but there's nothing I can do. I kept my mouth shut until now, but there's something else that the court should know. What? There's more? To be perfectly honest, it might not be anything, but I want another chance. Just another crack at you, young shark. Me? He's looking at me like I'm some sort of evil shogun. Well, everyone, why do I say one final evil showdown? The final chapter is that such a old man's scrapbook. Sorry, Gramps. I've already had my 70 cup of coffee. What have I got to lose, Captain? I'll give you all the cappuccino you want if you come here to lose after the trial. I may be 60 years old, but Zertigo's still a man! You may lost little your anatomy. That's enough, witness! I believe it'd be quicker for the court to see your testimony. You bet much quicker! Haha! You better get ready, youngster! Keep the pictures quicker and still seeds at me, would you? You've got to be using some sort of infinite ammo code with the box of seeds. It's a lot of seeds, though. Mario, hi, my boy. First of all, I want to stress that this might not be nothing, but I'm not sure myself. The young boy slumped over the table as soon as he took one sip of his cappuccino. Well, the clumsy idiot upset the vase. He knocked it right over. It broke, and the strip of the cloth covering the table got completely soaked. Well, how about that? Turn things upside down, Is that all? Yes, that's all I remember perfectly. Eh? You're doubting me again? You're doubting a poor, defenseless old man? No, you're not doubting it, Mr. Kudo. Don't you get the feeling there's a question hanging on everyone's lips, Nick? Yeah, so what? Probably. That's all I can think of. I guess watching this guy. Your bird brain, that's all I can really think of. Very well, Mr. Wright, your final cross-examination. It's still there! Mr. Kudo, this is a photograph of the crime scene. So what? Look carefully about that table. The vase is there, intact. Huh? Lost your tongue, Granddad? I'm no granddad of yours, Hopscotch! Ow! Ow! Enough! If you throw any more seeds in this courtroom, this cleaners will be here all night. Ah! What is it now? I just remembered something. Yes, go on. The broken vase. It was on my table. What? Ah, well, you see. It startled me when the young man collapsed. So I stood up. That must have been when it fell over. The vase on my table, I mean. The vase on your table. Yes, it was on my table. And that's how my groin came to be completely soaked. Thank you, Mr. Kudo. You certainly earned your kudos for today. Alright, I'd like to ask a question now. Have I been any use at all? Perhaps that's something you should reflect on yourself, Mr. Kudo. Gah! Wait a minute. If there's the case, there's more. I've got to say more. Oh, yes, remember something else. Bailiff! Escort the witness out of the courtroom. Wait, listen to me! God. Oh, God. Okay, this poem is basically for nothing. Well, we seem to have been considerably sidetracked, and I'm still not in a position to deliver a verdict. The defendant has not been positively identified as the waitress. Additionally, there are two disparities in the testimony we have heard thus far. The mark of the coffee cup that the victim supposedly drank with his left hand, and the earpiece, which was inserted in his ear out of which you couldn't hear. Wow, Nick, you did it! I therefore require both defense and prosecution to further investigate the facts. Yes, Your Honor. There's one more thing before I call today's session to end. Oh, one more thing, Your Honor? The witness we just heard from, he most insisted his testimony should be summarized in accordance with his testimony. Oh, okay. You may each have a copy of it if you wish. Whatever. Because you need props like that. Got us really mad, huh? Yeah, I would be too. Very well. Here, have them, Mr. Wright. There are 3 copies of my own. Yours, and Mr. Goddard's. Yes, Your Honor. Victor's testimony. When the incident occurred, I broke the vase on my seat. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. This isn't a piece of testimony. More like a $5 apology. What the heck are supposed to be 3 copies? That is all. This court is adjourned. Alright. So anyway, hope you guys enjoyed this video. Please subscribe, whatever. And next time, we're gonna go ahead and continue on with the trial. We'll go ahead and continue on doing more investigations. And I'm gonna go and do part 2 investigation and just investigate more. Oh boy. See you guys then.